Hello, everyone. Hope you're all well, you're staying safe, and all that. Welcome to Jake's Metal Chat. This is episode 37. It's just the amount of videos that I've been doing lately is mental, and I don't know why I keep checking my channel to see how many episodes I've done so far. I should know. I'm not on the beer yet, just on the Pepsi Max. I'll be on the beer later. Gonna get my guest in because he is waiting. So yeah, gone for a walk. I went for a long walk yesterday because I went to a local nature reserve not too far from where I live. But I did a long walk and went a long way around to it because I only just remember that there was one there and I'd never been to it, and I managed to get a lot of pictures, taken there. As for the live stream for the Jake's Metal Chat Facebook page, most likely be it might be Sunday, it might be next weekend, for all I know. I haven't decided yet, so keep a lookout for that. I'll get him in now before I prattle on even more. Got the gallery view. There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good.
Just need to start your video now. Yeah,
oh.
There's a.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. Hello.
Awesome stuff. How's it going? You right?
Yeah, I'm good. How have you been? I see you in since 2019.
Yeah, exactly. Since before the end of the world.
For the end of the world. That's
yeah.
Well, it is basically the end of the world.
Exactly.
Well, in terms of us metalheads, yeah, it is the end of the world. There's no gigs.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is cancelled or postponed.
Cancelled, postponed, or
yeah. Bloody annoying, it is.
Whatever. Like seeing some instruments in the background.
Yeah, it's in my little studio.
Oh, cool little studio. That's well, at least we know where you do your music.
yeah, exactly.
I'm just thinking, does he do it in his house?
Yeah, I've got a studio at home.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, welcome to Jake's Metal Chat. You are guest number 37.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome. And yeah, gonna introduce this man. He probably doesn't need an introduction because everybody knows him because he's got too many fucking bands to count.
You can never have too many bands.
You can never have too many bands, but he seems to have a lot, but they all seem to be rolled into one. This is Jonny Pettersson. He's from various bands like Ash Cloud, Wombbath, Heads for the Dead, Nattravnen, Just Before Dawn, Henry Kane, the list goes on. Just
on and on.
On and on and on and on and on and on. Oh, and one more, it's Syndrome as well, I forgot to mention.
One of my oldest, my oldest active bands at the moment. Syndrome.
Yeah, because that was the first time I met you was with that band.
Yeah, when we played in Bristol.
The Griffin.
Yeah.
Which was a
good show.
That was a good show.
Yeah, it was a fun night.
Very fun night.
Yeah.
And well, without further ado, let's get on with some metal chatting, chatting metal.
Sounds good.
Whatever the fuck else we decide to talk about. Well, obviously, we all know what's been going on in the world, that thing which I'm sick of mentioning, as I've mentioned it so many times before in these chats. I did mention it in my last chat with David Nicholson of Undergang. So I'm not going to mention it here, but I'm guessing you've been coping well as you can be.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not much. There's not much difference for me because I tend to stay at home and stay away from people anyway. I work from home. got my studio at home and everything like that. So I'm just as productive as I was before the whole lockdown and everything like that.
Well,
The only few times I'd come out to meet people would be when playing shows and festivals and stuff like that. Other than that, I'd just stay at home and make music. So it's not that much of a difference for me, to be honest. The major thing is not being able to play shows and stuff like that, which of course is a major downer, because it's the one thing I missed through the whole thing, not being able to play.
yeah, I think that's for a lot of us because I only managed to do one gig in 2019 with my own band.
Yeah.
I think I sent you the link too.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that was
Like,
good stuff.
because I had to just keep sending it to people and on pages and shit. Because I think you
Yeah.
had to do the same thing with your bands, just share them all around. And
Yeah, who else is going to do it?
who else is gonna do it? It's your, well, it's your band. You're like, what? Do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So people can listen to your music.
Well,
we can
that's
still
it.
listen to music. We just can't watch it.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's the thing. And it's for most musicians and most metalheads and stuff like that. It's our passion, and sharing it is what we do. I mean, that's been within the metal scene. That's what's been done since the dawn of metal. I mean, tape trading and stuff like that, and then with the digital age, you've got sharing on a different level. Makes it a bit easier to reach people all around the world. But
yeah,
it's a nice thing.
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously, I've had guests before. They talked about tape trading, obviously.
Yeah,
because that's what it was. Because one of my guests, Ken, who has Ken's Death Metal Crypt here on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm saying it like I am on YouTube right now. I'm doing it on Zoom, as everybody should know. He said, I would say, the tape trading was pretty much what Bandcamp and all that is now. Is basically that sort of thing, like internet-wise.
That's the thing. It's the same thing. You send your stuff to people that you think will enjoy it, and then if they do enjoy it and they have a band, they'll send stuff back, and then you trade a bunch of stuff. And I've discovered loads of really fucking good bands doing it like that. So
yeah, definitely.
I mean, I think it's brilliant. I absolutely love it. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that's like, oh, I shouldn't be sending stuff out. And it's like, wow, fucking true cult heroes that want to be. If you more than one person knows your band, then you're a sellout. But I just say fuck it and share the shit out of it. Who else is going to do it? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
If you're passionate about something, you want to share it with other people.
Definitely, definitely. Because like you said, if you're passionate about it, you can share it with other people, and hopefully they'll share it on to someone else, and then like share it on to someone who might write a review about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I mean,
play it on the radio show, podcast.
Yeah, that's how I discovered some of my favorite releases over the last 10 years, by people sharing stuff to me and got, oh, have you heard this band? And then you have a listen, and then it's awesome stuff. I mean, not everything is good, but then if it's not good, you don't have to listen to it again. Simple as that.
Yeah, I've done that with bands, and like, not my thing. I'll push it on one side.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to pull me in somehow.
Yeah, exactly. No, there's a lot of bands that I've heard as well that wasn't my cup of tea, and I didn't really necessarily enjoy it. But then again, I didn't listen to it anymore, and I didn't complain about it or anything like that. It's just, move on to the next band, and then you'll find something awesome instead.
Yeah, and that's how you do it. Some bands are like, yeah, oh, I like this band, and then there seems to be bands I like, or bands you like all the way through, and then you find like one or two bands you're like, no.
Yeah, and some bands you just need to find the right song. You start listening to them, and it's this isn't very good, and then you get that one song that pulls you in, and then all of a sudden you love everything they've done, or most of the things they've done.
Yeah,
that's happened to me lots of times with different bands.
Yeah, it's happened with me quite a lot. because I was going to say with Cannibal Corpse, it was Hammer Smash Face that drew me in.
Yeah, such a
think they did
hit
that
as
with a
well.
lot- I think I did that. I think that song did that for a lot of people. Just like, oh, Hammer Smash Face.
Yeah,
But
amazing song.
amazing song. Can't play it though. I do the vocals. I just can't play the riffs because I'm just like can't do the bass. I tried doing the bass. I was like, no, I'll give up.
There's that guy that does it on what is it, oboe or saxophone or something like that on YouTube.
What?
He's absolutely brilliant. He does a necrophagist track
Oh
as
no,
well,
you're
I think.
It's done decapitated as well.
Yeah, decapitated as well. I love him.
Everybody knows who that is.
He's awesome.
I can just imagine the bass pot on there go.
Yeah. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Mental. Get someone like that in a death metal band.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's Rivers and Niall with a saxophone player.
Yeah. That's funny you mentioned them, because that's one of those bands that I've heard everyone rave about for such a long time, and I've never really taken the time to listen to them. And they've just gone past me. And yesterday a friend of mine was like, oh yeah, we were talking about technical death metal and how we both find that a lot of technical death metal bands don't have proper songs. It's just showmanship and impressive stuff, but not for me, because I want a sort of a hook in the songs. And then he showed me one of the video was like, I think it was a spoof of Planet Caravan with Black Sabbath or something like that. It was very like psychedelic, and he was with the saxophone, and it was really good. I'm gonna start listening more to them.
Yeah, I got one of their albums. It was the one they released. I saw them in Bristol at the Fleece.
Yeah,
I can't remember the album now. I know it has Owl in it, but I can't remember it. But it'll probably come to me later on. Most of my album titles do, and then I'm like, still hasn't come to me yet. But well, because since we're talking about metal, where did your journey into metal begin? Because you live in Bristol now,
yeah,
but you're originally from one of my favorite places for death metal, Sweden.
Yes. Well, it started off with me listening to like my dad's music. So I was listening to my dad's vinyl records. It was like Elvis, Johnny Cash, Chuck, and yeah, a bunch of stuff like that. And then I discovered Guns N' Roses, and it was like instant love. And I think it was like first year in school or something like that. There was one of the kids had a cassette with Guns N' Roses, and for some reason we got to play it on a school lesson or something like that. And already then I was like hooked straight away, and stayed with like Guns N' Roses and Metallica and stuff like that for quite some time. And then I got really into punk and like crust punk and Swedish hardcore and stuff like that, and a lot of bands that played D beats and stuff like that, but also like old Swedish more melodic bands. You have a band called Strebers and another one called Astakask, which is like, they just changed my world of viewing music. It just flipped it 180, like turned my life upside down. And it was kind of due to like Strebers and Astakask that I started playing music as well, because it was so compelling, and it was the melodies and the song structures and everything like that just spoke to me in a way that I was like, I want to do this. I want to write stuff like this. So, and then obviously the punk stuff that I listened to got more and more extreme, and from that I got into death metal, and in a way thrash metal as well, but I've been dipping my toe in thrash metal through like Anthrax and obviously Metallica and stuff like that before, but thrash never like grasped me in that way. I like thrash. I really enjoy thrash, but it never really like spoke to me in the same way that punk and death metal did, for example. But then I was reading an article with, can't remember what band it was. I think it might have been Driller Killer. No, it was earlier than that. Well, anyway, an extreme crust band or a Swedish hardcore band, and they were talking about death metal and how punk had a big influence on some death metal bands, and they mentioned like Entomb, Dismember, and stuff like that. So I checked those bands out, and it was the same thing there. It was like, bam. A week later, I started my first death metal band. And it was just
from that.
Basically. Yeah. It was just I have to do this. I have to play this type of music. So, and then took a couple of years after that to like be able to play, because then at the time I was playing punk, which was like a really rudimentary band that 3 chords, fast songs, and just screaming out the lyrics, and it was listening back to it now. I'm quite proud of that stuff, and it was fun stuff to play. But with that came super easy to me. But starting to play death metal, that took me a couple of years to even become good enough to want to include any other members in it. So
yeah, well, that's one way of getting about. Like, this is the death metal. You start death metal.
Yeah.
Just like a week later, there we go. And obviously, you mentioned Entomb and Dismember. I was like, and I got to see Dismember obviously 2 years ago.
Yeah,
which was great.
Yeah, they're good. It's fun with Dismember because I remember we played a few festivals with them years back, and it was like 5-6 people in the audience, and no one really bothered. Wow. And yeah, this like a couple of years before they disbanded the first time, and it's like there was no interest for them, and everyone was saying like, "Oh, old school death metal is." And I remember I had an old school death metal band as well, and there was zero interest at all. Sent out demos to labels, and the labels would literally reply going, "It's good stuff, but no one wants to listen to old school death metal anymore." And then obviously they broke up, and all of a sudden there was a massive boom for them, and everyone loves Dismember all of a sudden. It's a cool thing to see that a band that's gone from like, obviously they were huge at a point in the 90s as well, but then like 2000, early 2000s, when there was literally no interest for that type of music, and then to come back to this where they're being booked for all the big festivals, all the like stuff like that, and it's really cool. I like it.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously a big fan of old school death metal, so any old school death metal band that does well is good in my book.
Yeah, I prefer old school death metal as opposed to brutal death or technical death or slam death. But there are bands from those genres I like, but it's old school death metal because that draws me in even more.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's the same for me as well. I mean, there's, as you said, there's bands in most corners of death metal that I like, but with technical death metal, there has to be something that pulls me in. There has to be a hook. And with brutal death metal, it can be really cool and getting that pummeling of the brutality, but it's not something that I would listen to frequently, and slam and stuff like that, deathcore and things like that. I don't get it. It's not for me.
It's not for me either, and that's why I
No,
don't dip my toe in it very much.
no. I've tried a few bands, and people have come with suggestions and stuff like that, but I've taken the time and trying to listen to it, but it's just not for me.
No, it's not for me either. I just like don't
Yeah.
deathcore. Don't like this, don't like that. It's old school death metal with some crust elements, doom elements, DB elements, Well, speaking of DB and crust and all that, Black Breath, I know they're not Swedish, but still they got that sound.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, you have a bunch of bands that recorded in oh shit, I can't remember the name of the studio, but it's Kurt Ballou from Converge.
Oh yeah.
In his studio, Room Sound, I think it's called. I can't remember. But anyway, like a handful of bands that recorded with him that is really, really good. It's like you had like not only American bands, but you had like Val and Fire as well record there. At least second album, I think.
Can't think, but still. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of those bands that use the HM2 Boss distortion pedal, which, funny enough, I don't know why I put in an awkward area. I own.
Very nice.
Because it's for my death metal band Viscera once I've actually sorted out a demo.
Yeah.
So I'm using this. And also, I did this with Fred from Dismember because I had him on there. It's got to be turned up like that.
Yeah.
It can't be this.
No, you got to dime it.
It's got to be all the way.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get that buzzsaw sound that's been called.
No. You should get an old PV as well to play it through, and then you got the proper sound.
And there you go, you got it.
Yeah.
I've been playing it through my interface, and I need to get a amp, cab, and head, a good one that would go well with this.
Yeah.
And then I can plug that in instead of using interface amps.
Yeah. Well, you can get some really, really, really good IRs now that you can load up and just plug it into your interface, load up the IR, and all of a sudden you have the same setup as that studio. And
yeah,
there's a couple really good ones that is out there for free, so I can link you some afterwards if you want to.
Yeah, that'll help me a bunch.
Yeah. No, they're excellent. I enjoy them
a whole lot for that, especially for Viscera.
Yeah, exactly.
So I bought one song. It was more grindcore, and it was only 6 seconds long.
Excellent. The perfect length of a grindcore song.
But that's when it was going to be grindcore and death metal. Now it's just going to be straight up death metal, and obviously going to mix like bolt thrower and like the bolt thrower like chugs and stuff like that.
You can never go wrong with bolt thrower.
You can't go wrong with them. I've only saw them once, and that was 2014 at Damnation.
Yeah.
Only time, but
one of the best death metal bands ever.
Oh yeah. And you play in bands yourself. Obviously, we see guitar and a bass. Which instrument did you start playing first, guitar or bass?
I started with bass. I went to the music store and I found the cheapest bass they had, and it sounded like crap. But the guy was like, "Oh, do you want to try it out before you buy it?" And I couldn't play a note. I'd never even held a bass or a guitar for that matter. And he's like, "Do you want to try it?" All right. Shamefully sat down in the room where they had the test amp and everything and plugged it in, and it sounded like fucking shit. Like the strings were hitting the bands on the neck and everything like that, and it just sounded horrible. And obviously, me not knowing anything about it and thinking it was because I played it really bad that it sounded bad, was like, "Oh yeah, this is perfect. I'll have this one."
And then realizing, like,
and he's like looked at me like, "Are you sure you really want that one?" But got it for a really good price, and then after a while discovered that the intonation and everything was just completely fucked up on it. So, and handed it into a guitar workshop and got it sorted so I could play it properly. And then started playing in a. Well, first off, played a bit of Metallica covers in a friend's garage, and then started playing punk, which was perfect. But then in the punk band, I swapped to guitar, so started playing guitar instead. But I couldn't really play guitar, so I had to learn on the spot. But it's just 3 chords in each song, so it was fairly easy.
Yeah, well, it's punk is very easy, and
Yeah,
because it's just like same chords over and over again, or it might vary. It might vary a bit, but then it'll just go back to the same 3 chords. You know,
learn how to play a rock chord, and then you'll be fine.
Then you'll be fine.
Yeah,
and I'm guessing you started doing, or I don't know when you started actually playing in bands. Probably, I don't know, late 90s, early 2000s.
Around 96, and then recorded at the end of 96. I recorded the first demo I was ever on, and then 97 I recorded my first death metal demo.
Oh, cool. And what was that?
That was with a band called Disfigured Victims.
Disfigured Victims. I think I've seen that on the Metal Archives profile of yours.
Probably on there. But yeah, the first demo was like 4 songs. Sounded like a poorly played Mortician album.
Poorly played Mortician.
Yeah, but it was great fun.
Great.
It was programmed drums before there was any proper programs to program drums with. So I used a program called Fast Tracker.
Fast Tracker.
Yeah, and you had to get the drums off Fast Tracker on to a cassette deck, and then you brought the cassette deck to the studio, and then you could mic the cassette deck, and then you had the drums in from that, and then you recorded the guitars on top of that.
Just sounds like a complete thing.
It was fun. It was great fun. It sounded like shit, but it was...
I wouldn't be surprised, but nowadays you can just find a drum program on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Put it there, and you can just do it from there.
Exactly.
Back then, it was a lot different.
Yeah, you had when Drum Kit from Hell came around in 2002, I think it was. It just changed the way programmed drums sound, and these days you have amazing stuff with programmed drums. It's incredible.
Yeah, and nowadays you got various different drum sounds. Probably back then when Mortician were using a drum machine for their first ever album. Was it Hacked Up for Barbecue?
Yeah, I think they had a proper drummer on the first release. House by the Cemetery? No.
That's one of Cemetery. I think they had an actual drummer, yeah.
Yeah.
Hacked Up for Barbecue, I think they started using a drum machine, then using a live drummer for shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that. I have no idea. Well, yeah, they would have done that. But there are bands that use drum machines. Drummers are hard to come by, and bassists are also hard to come by.
Yeah, I don't mind drum machines at all. I think they're great fun.
No, it's like you don't have to worry about, if you've got a drummer, not worrying about them not showing up because they have work commitments or something. So a drum machine, it's the only thing you're going to get annoyed with it is if it crashes on you.
Oh yeah, I've had that.
Damn it!
I've had that.
We
played once in. We were supposed to play in Stockholm with Ash Cloud, and the same weekend there was a terrorist threat, and I think there was an explosion and everything like that, and we flew in to the south side of Stockholm, so we were all right, but the whole of the north side was closed off, and the drummer was coming in from north of Sweden with the train, and the train couldn't come into Stockholm.
Sure.
And this was the day before the show, so we were like, well, we've got 2 options: either I'll program the drums now and we'll play with programmed drums, or we cancelled the show and we didn't feel like cancelling the show. So the night before the show, I was sitting down at my friend's place programming all the drums for the show.
Shit.
And that was
Well, obviously it might have gone well. Obviously it went well because I did actually see some footage. I think you got a YouTube channel. I saw some footage of you guys playing. So I couldn't have seen it drummer or not.
It went as well as expected. Let's say that.
Yeah, that's well. As long as it went well, it went well. And obviously, there's a mate of ours in this band. It's Gareth.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He's a good. You two seem to get on very well and seem to connect when it comes to death metal.
Yeah,
he's in Body Harvest and he's probably got too many bands himself. That's a better picture.
Yeah. That's from the first album.
Abandon All Light.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, this was Shelley who did the makeup.
Well, not the makeup, but the fake blood. Yeah.
The fake blood. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Fake blood. She did the fake blood.
Yeah.
Good old shells.
Yeah.
I've seen her on a wall. Yeah, I haven't seen very many people within the Bristol metal scene for. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And nice CD.
Yeah.
And I got this one and Children of the Chainsaw.
Oh yeah, the second album.
Still don't have the third one. I don't know why I keep thinking, I'm gonna get it. Fuck's sake. Keep forgetting to pick it up. It's all on Extreme Music. That's David Rotten's label.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone should know who David Rotten is. If not, check out Evolved.
Good band.
Good band. Got to see him in Cardiff at Eradication because they played then.
Yeah.
What year did they play? It might have been 2018-ish.
Could have been, yeah.
Might have been 2018 because I think you guys played that same year with Wombbath.
Oh yeah. We played the night before with.
You played the night before. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Who else played that night? It was another good band.
I've done a picture of the.
Yeah.
You two are like the main ones in the band. You just get like, well, you want to do this? Yeah. You do this? Yeah. And,
exactly.
Where did the name Ash Cloud come from?
It's actually a song by a band from my hometown, Sundsvall.
And how far from Stockholm?
They're even, well, the whole album is called Ash Cloud. They're called Blått Mine. Yeah, it's a black metal, really good black metal band from Sundsvall.
Awesome.
Unfortunately no longer exists, but they had members that went on to play with Cythereal and stuff like that. So
very good.
It's really good stuff. So if check it out. It's good old black metal.
Definitely give that a go because I do like a bit of black metal from time to time. I don't just listen to death metal all the time. I do listen to a bit of black metal. Yeah,
there's some good black metal bands.
Some good black metal bands. It's just finding them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a lot of them just like, no, sound alright.
There's a lot of crap black metal bands as well.
Yeah,
you gotta wade through the shit to find the good ones.
It's like shit. Put this on. Yeah, that's better.
Like finding a golden nugget in a portaloo.
A golden nugget. Well, we mentioned Syndrome earlier.
Yeah.
Well, I got this one when you guys played.
Oh yeah. The last album we did.
Last album you did. I should say that again, just in case people are like, oh, you went too fast. Look at it.
Devils and stuff.
All right, there's some pictures of people in there, some members.
There's a hiding behind a CD.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me take the beard. Oh, actually, your beard is as long as it is now. But yeah, there he is. Covered in blood and
filth.
Blood and filth, as we always see Jonny on stage, covered in blood or filth, or his hair is soaked in water.
Yeah.
so we can get him headbanging and splashed in the face. As you do.
Yeah.
A better picture.
There we go.
Much better picture. I think you're the only long-haired guy in the band.
Yeah. Well, the bass player used to have long hair, but he cut it off. I think he had long hair there, but he's got a cap on instead, so he's hiding it.
Cool. Oh, yeah. I think he had long hair, but I think he had it tied back during the show. I don't know.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's always got a cap on, so
Always has a cap on. So
yeah.
before I ask how long the Syndrome album took to record, how long did these take?
The Syndrome album, that one took probably. I mean, that one was written in a very different way. We wrote that one mainly in the rehearsal space. Yeah. So that one was probably like half a year or something like that, even longer maybe, to actually write the songs, and then it was a couple more months to arrange them and stuff like that before we even went into the studio. With the Ash Cloud albums, the ones we've done is kind of been on the spot. So we've started off with a riff that's set the tone for the rest of the album, and then the rest of the process has been kind of chasing the feeling of that riff and the feeling of that, and we usually just record everything. We record everything on the spot rather than writing it and then recording it. So we'll have a bunch of riffs that we record, and then we see which riffs work with each other, and we try to have an as finished product as possible when we record it. Just makes it easier to get the feel of the album and get the feel of the songs and things like that.
Yeah.
And then obviously we build on stuff like lead guitars and melodies on top of the riffs and the vocal patterns and stuff like that. But it's very much on the spot and sometimes even improvised. Just go with the feel of the song. So
that's how I do it when I'm thinking of riffs.
Yeah.
But I also record what I came up with so I can remember what it is I recorded.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's
so I can tab it later once I can get a program to tab it all out.
Yeah.
Like Guitar Pro, which is always the one to go to.
No, it's good to record stuff and then you still have it. Well, you have it fresh in mind. So.
Yeah, and just keep it fresh. And it's like, shit, what's that riff again? I wanted for this song. Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
One. It's like, what did I want to do in this song? Did I want to do a solo? I can't do fucking solos. I'll get guest soloists or one person to do guest solos. So, and because I mentioned that you live in Bristol. Obviously, what made you move from Sweden to my neck of the woods?
Well, I had actually been living abroad for quite some time before I got to Bristol. So I moved to Dublin first and lived in Dublin for about 4 years.
Oh, cool.
And then I ended up in Czech Republic. Dublin was amazing. I missed Dublin a lot. Yeah. And Czech Republic. And then I met my ex, Hannah, as you know.
Hannah, yep.
At Bloodstock. And
what year was that?
What's that?
I went in 2010, so I don't know if you've gone a year before I did.
I think it was 8 years ago now. 8 or 9 years ago.
Oh, that might have been...
So,
I can't think, but...
But anyway, met her, and then a year... 6 months, a year after that, I moved to Bristol to be with her. Got stuck.
Yeah, and you're here now. It's all gone downhill. It's all gone downhill. We get you drunk at old pubs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I mean by it's gone downhill. We're getting too drunk. We do apologise. I'm not joking. But because I've been to yours when you were with Hannah, your place at that point for the party, and held one of your pet rats.
Oh yeah, that was.
I don't know which rat it was because about fucking 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
Don't know which one it was, but it kept on a nibble my beard.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
I can't remember which one it was, but I was just like, no,
Yeah.
don't bite the beard. Choke on my hair. But I don't know what it is with metalheads. We've seen we sometimes we'll have cats, we'll have dogs, but then we go with like lizards and rats and ferrets. It's, I don't know.
Yeah. A bunch of animal lovers.
We're animal lovers. Everyone thinks we're just nasty looking people with long hair, facial hair. We play extreme music such as this, and we say something like, "I'll kill you all." Oh, hello, little puppy.
Well, animals are 10 times better than humans anyway, so.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, we suck.
I detest most of every human on the planet, but except for a chosen few, but animals love most of them.
Yeah, because Wormrot had a fan, and it was a goat.
Yeah. So, I mean, animals are always true in nature, whereas humans are fucked up assholes.
Yeah, and obviously one way to forget about all that is to play music.
Exactly. The only ones I don't like is fucking wasps. They can go fuck themselves.
Stung by a couple of them.
Bastards. Evil fucking bastards. The bunch of them.
Yeah, there was like, well, okay, this one looks too dangerous. It goes, I've been stunned.
Yeah.
After squishing the fucking thing.
Yeah, I'm allergic to them, so.
Oh, okay, so they stung you. You be boo.
Yeah.
You can't lose this man because he's brought out too many projects. Obviously, I don't have Heads for the Dead CD. Obviously, with Serpent's Curse on it.
Yeah, and then we just released Into the Red now as well.
Yeah, Into the Red.
Yeah, it came out end of last year.
Yeah, because a mate of mine, Jim Beerman, I had him on here. He's got a radio show. Someone requested Heads for the Dead, actually, and it was Serpent's Curse.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, nice. Was it Jonny Pettersson project? I was like, I know who this man is. I've hanged out with him whenever any other chance I can get. And try and talk metal unless he has to go and see someone. Like, oh, that's fine. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we've actually got we've been working on an EP as well that's going to come out later this year, which is going to be a bit different from the albums. So we wanted to like keep the same red line through the albums, but on the EP we've gone more of a like rock and roll punk type feeling. No, it's really cool.
It works with death metal.
And it's very 80s slasher film inspired. So one of the songs is based on Maniac. One of the songs is based on Halloween. And one of the songs is based on The Thing. And we've got.
You just said a lot of my favorite films.
Yeah, and we've got
Error,
Misfit cover and a Ramones cover as well on it.
Misfit, yeah. Since you just said Misfits,
yeah.
Camley mentioned you and him were doing some sort of Misfits.
Yeah. Project Deathfits.
That's it. You mentioned it.
Yeah. We've actually recorded a whole bunch of covers, Misfit covers, both old ones and new, both Danzig era and Graves era covers. So hopefully it's going to be released at some point.
Yeah, I said to him, I'll get that. And speaking of that, you are also in Massacre.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm not going to ask how that happened. You've known Cameron for quite a number of years now.
Yeah.
Because I think he said David Ingram introduced you to him, I think it was. Or was it?
It was Roger, yeah.
Roger, not David Ingram. Roger. Yeah. It's one of the two. I was thinking, there's two death metal legends. One of them happened to do it. It was Roger, who I've heard a bunch of his stuff. He's like you. He's got too many projects.
He's winning at the moment.
He's winning. He's beating He's been doing it longer.
Yeah.
But Roger,
catch up.
Yeah, and I've never met Roger. I hope to one day.
He's a great guy. He's a really, really good friend of mine. So we talk almost daily on Messenger and stuff.
That's awesome. Keep in contact, write some
exactly.
some verses and stuff.
Yeah, we've got a common interest of we've got a cult thing in Sweden called könsrock, which is basically poorly played punk rock with really, really childish, banal lyrics about poop and sex and
As you do.
just fun stuff. And it's the best thing in the whole world, better than death metal even.
That's pretty. Usually some death metal songs it's sex, but
Yeah.
listen to Cannibal Corpse, it's sex turned up to the freaking max.
But yeah, there's a band called Onkel Konker.
I think I know that is.
Best band in the world.
Yeah.
By far. Hands down, all genres.
I love Swedish words. But because I've learned too much from just my mate Alex here in Bristol, because we got a folk metal band and he's been to Sweden a bunch of times and he kept saying for fun. I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Oh, I'm gonna use that now.
It's a good expression.
Yeah, and I said that to Freddie, started laughing his head off. I was just like, yeah, because I went to Stockholm 2019.
Yeah.
For Scandinavia Death Fest. I wanted to go to the big cross where Entombed had their photo taken for their Didn't get a chance. Hopefully next time I'll go there and be like, this might be good for Viscera. Do I really want a copy? Yes, it's a tribute to Lars.
Exactly.
Because we've lost him. And he had a massive influence on me from Viscera, definitely vocal wise.
Yeah.
So I'm mixing it up.
It's hard to deny the impact he had on the death metal scene and everything like that. He's a legend, and that's passed on, and it's a sad day for all of the death metal community.
Definitely all over the world, because he basically still kept doing death metal, even when death metal was not on everyone's agenda.
Yeah, exactly.
He still kept doing it despite that.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
and I applaud that, man.
Definitely someone to look up to, and sort of sad loss.
Did you ever get to meet him in person?
Yeah, a couple of times. I didn't know him personally or anything like that. It was more that we met at gigs or stuff like that, or backstage at someone's gig or festivals, and just said cheers and stuff like that.
Once some encounter, then.
Yeah, just brief encounters.
Yeah, I had a brief encounter with him at Woodstock 2014 because Entombed AD played. And I went to the signing tent and got something signed.
But yeah, now that he passed away, you can see all the stories that people are telling about him on Facebook and stuff like that. And it's quite a testament to what a person he was. Everyone seems to have a Lars story. So. Which is pretty cool.
Petrol.
Yeah.
Definitely. Everyone's got their stories because I think David Ingram said a story on his Facebook. Cam Lee might have said something.
Yeah.
They've all said something because they all met in passing.
Yeah, exactly. So
obviously. So
yeah. It's
like, how do you know this man? Met him on tour. There we go.
Left a big legacy behind.
He's left a big legacy behind. He may not be here physically, but what he done for death metal will still be here.
Oh yeah.
And that's the main thing.
Yeah. As long as there is an earth, it will be here.
He's still here. And that big cross I mentioned earlier, they put a little memorial around it for him.
Yeah. It's Anders.
Yeah.
Gathered a bunch of people and sorted that out. That was big props to Anders for that one.
Yeah, big props to him. Definitely. I just saw it, I thought, that's a lovely tribute.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's why I'm thinking if I do it, future Viscera releases, one's going to be a tribute to Lars.
Yeah.
Because of what he's done for not just the Swedish death metal scene, but for just death metal in general.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just do it for one scene. You're doing it for everything. You know,
that's it.
British scene, the American scene, the French scene. I don't know how many death metal bands came out of France around that time. Loud Blast, there we go.
Yeah.
Loud Blast, there's probably some more around that time, but that's the only one I can think of, old school wise.
Yeah, I probably had, what's their name? Gorguts? No, not Gorguts.
Gorguts is from Canada.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
The French part, I think.
Yeah.
There's too many bands. I find too many bands, and I'm just like, where are these guys from? But I seem to get drawn to more Scandinavian bands.
Yeah.
In
There's
general.
a lot of good bands from Scandinavia.
Definitely. And well, obviously you're a big part of that theme from there, and having your bands there, and now you're here, and you brought that over here, which is great, and which obviously is great because I'm like, it's so raw and heavy. I'm crying. I'm crying now. God damn it.
God damn it.
God damn it. Because Heads for the Dead, they're on Transcending Obscurity, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I thought so. I was trying to remember. Because I know this band is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Transcending.
Which is named after the demon priest in Poltergeist.
Yeah. The Reverend in Poltergeist.
Reverend Henry Kane. Obviously, if no one's got this one, I don't have the other one yet. And I can't
released
that at all.
Den förstörda människans rike.
What does that mean?
Kingdom of the Ruined Man.
Kingdom of the Ruined Man.
Yes.
I've been trying to learn Swedish. I was just like, I'm going to fuck this up. So I asked the man himself. And well, obviously, I know that lovely picture of this man in the in the cover.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing there.
It's even better on the new album. It's got my head on spikes.
Oh, nice.
Impaled.
Oh no, that's a better one.
Just stepped on a piece of Lego.
On a piece of Lego?
Yeah, that's why I got the sour face.
It's like, Yeah, well, I heard this because I went to a gym here in Bristol quite a bit, and if I wanted to go on the treadmill, I just stuck that on.
Yeah.
Because it's a fast album.
Yeah, it's very fast album.
Very crusty death metal.
Yeah.
Because crust punk and death metal seem to go very well. DVD Instinct for one, who I got to see with Coffins not last year, the year before.
Yeah.
DVD Instinct on the bill. How long did this take to record? Because all the songs are short, obviously. So, but there must have been a lot to do in terms of mixing and mastering.
That one went pretty fast. I think that's one of the fastest albums I've ever made. I think I made that one over a weekend or something like that.
Yeah, and the cover fits the music. So
yeah.
Look at it.
Doomsday.
So whoever's trying to call out is just like, help.
But yeah, I think I made it over a weekend. And funny thing is that most of the vocals on that album is improvised. So they're just recorded on the spot.
Well, it's one way of going about it. It's just writing down lyrics. You just make it up on the spot. I think that's what John Toddy did for Cause of Death. Just made it up on the spot.
Exactly.
And I think that's the best way, because then people will remember those lyrics instead of lyrics that you might have written down before. Everyone might not. I can't talk. Not everyone might not. Everyone may not remember those. That's it. Finally got it out. Damn it. But yeah, I like this because, like I said, it's crusty, it's death metal, it's fast. So if you're on a treadmill and you got this on your iPod or you're on Spotify, because it will be on Spotify, mate, a lot of the bands here, stick it on, get on that treadmill. Obviously you can't because the gyms are fucking closed. Unless you've got a treadmill at home and one of those exercise bikes, get on it and just pedal to the max, because it's one of those. And there's one song on here, I can't think which one it is, but it's got the bass. Well, actually, the bass on every song is just like it's like a. I was like, wow, God, this is so raw. I love it. I love it. I must be in this band. But he does everything, so I can't. Because you do everything. You're just like a one-man machine.
Yeah, got a condition.
Always get people to play in this band, because you got Matt from Repulsive Vision.
Yeah,
gonna do live stuff, not studio stuff, live.
Yeah,
stuff, which is still a member. It's just a live member.
Yeah, exactly.
And if that was me, I'm like, still, live member, still a member. It's all good. That's all I gotta do. It's live stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck it up in the studio. Because if I fuck things up, I get rid of it and start again. I'm like Cam Lee, he fucks a vocal bit up, deletes it all, starts again. Because he told me himself. And it's the longest chat still on Jake's Metal Chat. It's still the longest one, being over 3 hours.
Oh yeah, it's a long one.
Being 3 hours because he had a lot to talk about. Because obviously early days of death metal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's got a career in death metal that spans way over 30 years, which is bloody fucking impressive. So
38 years, something like that. I can't think.
Yeah, exactly.
And, obviously, you've done a lot of stuff with him since then, because you're in Massacre and you're recording a new album.
Yeah, the album is done. Everything is it's already mixed, it's mastered. We've got the artwork, the layout, everything is done. We're just waiting on the label. So the label keeps pushing it forward and not really giving any clear vision on when they're gonna release it, but hopefully it will be soon.
Let's hope it's soon, because I want to pick it up, put it on my iTunes, and start blasting it.
I think the main issue for the label is the pressing plant for the vinyl, because it's the queue to make any vinyls now is just ridiculous. It's absolutely insane.
Well, you just have to wait, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
As an eager fan of death metal in general, I'm just like, come on.
Oh, I hate waiting, and especially if I'm releasing an album and you're done with everything, and all you do is wait for the label to release it, and it's a massive pain. Yeah. I absolutely hate that.
Yeah, I had to do that for my band, even though it was the guitarist mixing and mastering it.
Yeah.
And the bassist has his own label, so it's on that label. But we still have to wait for the album to be mixed and mastered. So it's just
exactly.
Come on. I want to hear how it sounds, even though we get all the mixed and mastered final mix of it. And it's like, I'm like, I swear I swear most of my vocals have reverb.
Yeah.
So put some reverb on that, please. Because there's nothing wrong with reverb in death metal, just don't overdo it.
No, best effect ever.
Best effect ever because it fits the music.
Yeah.
Because it fits the music, and there you go. Next band is this one.
Oh yeah, Nattravnen.
How do you say it? Nattravnen?
Nattravnen. Yeah.
And obviously, Cam mentioned where the name came from.
Yeah. Can
you explain about that a bit more? Because apparently it's something to do with some like ghost woman or something.
It's basically it's an old lore. That you have different versions of it depending on where you have different version of it in Sweden even. So like depending if you're from the north of Sweden or the south of Sweden, it changes the story. And then you have the same story in Germany as well, Nattravnen. And it pretty much spans from a crow that guards a cemetery. So you'll have it will be guarding a cemetery and preventing lost souls from escaping the cemetery, or it's used as a way to scare kids if they've been naughty. The Nattravnen crow or the raven will come and pick their eyes out when they're sleeping.
Yeah, because he said your grandmother told you that when you were a kid.
Yeah, so
that's one way of scaring it, isn't it?
You get loads of those like old folklores and stuff like that in Sweden. You have like things to scare people off doing stuff. So you have one called Näcken, which is basically to scare kids off going down to the river and falling in and drowning. And it tells a story of a man that sits down by the water, plays a violin, and he plays it so good that you get enchanted by it and you go down to the water and then he drowns you.
Oh, wow.
And then you've got you've got like different beings and stuff like that will lure you into like foggy meadows and kill you and things like that. So there's loads of them.
I swear there's one where there's a woman that drags you into the water or something, and she drags
you.
So beautiful they can't resist her.
Yeah,
and she just drags you in.
It's pretty much the same one as the one with the violin player. So
and, I think there's one with a horse as well, where you touch the horse, you can't get off, and you're being dragged into the water again with this horse, which I always thought was a bit crazy.
And then you got the nightmare being Nattravnen, which comes when you're sleeping and pretty much just rips you open as you're sleeping.
I'll say this about like Scandinavian folklore, be it Swedish, Norwegian, Danish, whatever. You seem to have very terrifying creatures.
Yeah, there's loads of them.
You can't see me, and I love it.
Yeah, there's a lot of don't do this or you're going to die. Yeah,
it's like in the case with your grandmother. Don't be naughty, otherwise you're going to get your eyes pecked out.
Exactly.
And
be good, or the raven will come and pick your eyes out.
And I'm guessing that's stuck with you ever since.
yeah, definitely. Well, all of those ones is things that, when you hear them as a kid, you go, shit, better behave.
It's like, sorry, Grandma. Sorry, Nano. And well, I just thought I wanted, because Cam told me about it, but like just the short version of it.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to hear from you personally what the whole thing was. So, and speaking of Nattravnen, I got a fridge magnet. I got the box one. So.
Oh yeah.
Got that signed card.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know Cam Lee's one because I got a note from him saying thank you for supporting OSDM because I bought a patch, which was the pull the plug patch.
Yeah.
Of From Beyond. The patch, which I don't know if I'm going to stick on my grey jacket. I feel like it's too nice to put on the jacket. Well, I might.
It's quite clean.
Just need some room. What else have we got? Big sticker. I haven't stuck that anywhere yet.
Yeah.
Don't know if I should. I'm just like, I should keep everything together. Well, if I put the sticker somewhere and the patch on the jacket, I'll keep everything else in the CD box.
Yeah.
And finally, the CD.
The CD indeed.
Also on Transcending Obscurity.
Yeah.
You seem to have, like, I don't know, 3 bands on this label.
Yes. I think I've got more.
Probably have more, but
yeah.
I only think of 3.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And Cam with his trademark sunglasses.
Exactly.
Because he was wearing those in our chat, and I thought, he's allowed. He's allowed.
He's got a free pass.
He gets a free pass. Obviously, hang on a minute, I can do this.
Yeah.
Because it folds out like this.
Then you got both the lyrics, and you've got a separate story that Cam wrote for the album as well. So
cool.
In the booklet, you'll have a freestanding story that isn't to do with the lyrics specifically. It's just a really cool, creepy horror story that he wrote using the concept of Nattravnen. And
yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, that's it.
The story, which. Okay, I'm going to have to read this.
Yeah, do
at that time because I'm trying to chat to you first.
It's really, really cool, that one.
And if anyone wants this particular edition of it, then obviously you can find it on this label in particular.
Exactly.
Or on the band's Bandcamp, obviously.
Yeah, it's actually the label that runs the Bandcamp. So
yeah, that is a nice cover.
Yeah, it's Jonny Costello that made that one. Really, really good, talented artist.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just the bloody hell, just the amount of detail.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gone into it.
Yeah,
is mental.
No, he's a very talented guy.
And I'm trying to think as well. Were you recording your parts from here, or did you go, or did you and Cam meet up somewhere and record it in a studio?
No, I recorded everything at my place and then sent it over to him as like demo scratch tracks. He then recorded the vocals to that and then sent it back to me, and then I did the proper recordings using his vocals.
Well, that's one way of doing it, of course.
Yeah.
That saves you traveling over there and doing it.
Oh, definitely. And with today's technology as well, and high-speed internet and whatnot, it's so easy to just share music between each other all over the world.
Yeah, and obviously you guys, like I said, you have a massive partnership now, because not only are you in Massacre, you've done Nattravnen. I keep saying it wrong. It sounds like I'm saying a recipe. It is a recipe. It's death metal.
It's a Swedish meatball recipe.
It's a death metal recipe. And obviously you've done other bands like Just Before Dawn with David Ingram.
Yeah.
Who is a big part of the death metal scene. Because I got to meet him in Scandinavia, obviously, because he lives in Denmark, and he's been there since 1998.
Yeah, exactly. He's more Danish than English now.
Yeah,
gonna get.
But he's still got that Birmingham accent that you hear in Birmingham.
Yeah.
No matter, because you'd be like this, you just hear everyone in Denmark talking either in their own language or in English. Then you just hear one person, and it's him.
Exactly.
You just hear like. It's like, oh yeah, new Benediction album. There he is.
Good fucking album, by the way. That new Benediction. It's one of last year's best albums.
Loved it. Yeah, that's one of my favorites last year. Definitely.
Bloody brilliant.
I just absolutely love that album from start to finish. It's like,
yeah.
Because obviously the Benediction albums before David Ingram came back in was all with Dave Hunt from Nattravnen.
Yeah, exactly.
Who I saw Benediction with first, because they played Bloodrock 2012. And then Scandinavia Death Fest, David Ingram was like, yeah, this is better.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to deny that fact that Dave Ingram's voice is Benediction. That's just it. Because his voice is such
it's very distinct.
Yeah, very distinct, and you can never mistake him for anyone else. No. Maybe Cam Lee at some points, because they've got very similar. Yeah.
Just thinking that.
Which is a really good thing, I'd say, because Cam Lee's got one of the best death metal voices in the world. So
Cam Lee Wipeout, as he.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, with Dave, his voice makes Benediction. I think, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, because like I said, distinct. Yeah, you got those distinct death metal vocals, because a lot of them do tend to do the same gutturals or
exactly.
sort of growls or whatever.
Yeah.
But with David and Cam, they just do their own thing.
Yeah, it's very unique. The easiest way to tell them apart is the pronunciation of stuff, because you've got Dave always sings with his. He's always got the British pronunciation of the words. And sings it like that, whereas Cam sings it with an American pronunciation.
Yeah, that's how you can tell.
Yeah.
And with obviously when you hit, like, if they say like the word die or death or black or whatever, you can tell, because when you hear Dave Ingram say it on Ashen Epitaph, that song, great song.
Yeah.
When he says black, it's like children of the block. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's David Ingram. How would Cam Lee say it?
That's the thing with Dave as well, and his vocals is that he's got such a cool way of emphasizing certain words, or like how he pronounces them or how he sings them. It makes it such a unique thing. Like where he sings black, he goes black, really like yeah.
Which I've sort of got down black.
Yeah, and it adds another layer of coolness to the vocals, I think.
Or rage.
Yeah, exactly.
From I Bowed to None. That's all.
But big rolling R's and stuff like that it's very cool.
Yeah, and also he's got other bands himself, Down and the Dead Men,
Yeah.
Just Before Dawn, obviously we just mentioned.
Who was saying that?
Yeah, he's
With
got,
me.
yeah, he's because obviously you do a lot of stuff with Cam Lee, David Ingram.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've done stuff with Roger as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Roga's in Massacre as well, so.
Oh yeah, because he's in Massacre.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I mean,
Cam Lee had Grotesquerie,
yeah.
Bone Nor, bands like that.
Yeah.
There's like
cool stuff.
come join this band. It's like, your band? Yeah. Right. And before we get on to the band you are currently in, because we just mentioned a bunch of them, there's a book you also appeared in, a Swedish death metal book.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw your name, I thought, there it is. Yeah, I should have got it before getting you on. I'm an idiot. Because I'm reading the Finnish death metal book at the moment.
Oh, I still haven't read that one. I need to get it.
It's a great read.
Yeah.
I'm on the chapter about Sentenced at the moment. It's a long one.
Yeah.
And this is it.
Yeah, Daniel's book.
There's Daniel's book. Love the cover. Should have got a t-shirt of this. Never mind.
Yeah, I think you can get him still, I think. Somewhere.
See, there's a lot to do. I'm not going to try and find you in here because it's
there's a lot.
It's going to take a while. And obviously, we'll show because there's one album Lols was on. If I can get in that one.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Omicron, which obviously I don't know how many people listen to that band, but hopefully there's a lot.
Yeah, it's a very underrated band.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because I don't think a lot of people talk about them or give them credit. I don't know.
They had Martin from Asphyx as well.
Yeah, Martin Van Drunen, another death metal vocalist, and one of my favourites. Definitely.
Yeah, he's good.
And I'm not gonna try and find you in here because there's a lot of people in here that were asked to do this. So, but he's in there. If you got the book and you see his name, there he is.
That bastard.
And obviously, I think this band got mentioned in the book at times, and is the band you're currently doing vocals with another mate of ours, John, who was also in Body Harvest for a while. Big beard, such as yourself.
Yeah.
And tied up the same way. I swear, I don't know if you always have it tied up that way when you go to sleep.
Yeah, I've got it like most of the time. Take it out to wash it every now and again.
Oh, you got to wash it. You can't just have like,
when I take my yearly shower.
Yearly shower.
Yeah.
It's like a year on the beard. Not the hair. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on, wash it. Well, obviously it's Wombbath.
Yes.
Wombbath, how do you say it?
Wombbath. Yeah.
I say Wombbath because Tom Davies, who mate of mine, he's now doing the Metal Face podcast, who you've been transcribing the music for.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he said Wombbath.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's Wombbath. But I know who he's on about when he says it.
One of the worst band names ever.
Yeah, worst band name, but excellent music.
Yeah. We're currently finishing up our new album, so we've
for this year.
Yeah. So
I was gonna say last year you had done like 2.
Yeah. Well, the last one, the Tales of Madness, was more of a 30-year anniversary type release, and it was a bunch of re-recordings of old songs and stuff like that. So I only had 2 new songs on it, and the rest was old stuff that we remade. And it was a lot of it was like a brainchild of Håkan. So you could,
that's the album.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was one of the last ones I heard before the year ended.
Yeah. So that one is more of a compilation of old stuff. And with the one we're recording now is all new songs, and it's going to be absolutely brilliant.
They all again.
Yeah.
Well, it's only three I know personally. You, John, and Matt. Don't know the guitarist very well because I don't think I've ever had a chance to properly chat to him. And also, there's only one original member, and he's on the end there.
Yeah, Håkan.
He's the only one left who was an original member when they formed. Obviously, and I think my camera just went out. It does that, stupid thing. And well, because before this one, you did this.
Yes.
And there was the other one, of course, before that one.
Yeah. We had before this one, it was Choirs of the Fallen, and we had
Descent,
The Great Desolation.
Yeah.
And then between The Great Desolation and that one, which was the first one we did when coming back, we did a bunch of splits. So we had 3 splits in between that, and then we had another split before that album as well, which was the very first release that we did.
Yeah, because I remember saying to you, I can't remember which gig it was at Motion. I said, "Oh, I need this album." You just went into your coat pocket, pulled one out, and gave one. I was like,
always have one handy.
I was like, "Oh, thank you." No, could have bought you a pipe, but damn it, never mind. But yeah, well, how long did this take to record? And
that
then
one,
go on to that one.
Well, the Downfall Rising took a bit longer because of the amount of people that was involved in it. So we had a bunch of people in America doing a bunch of stuff. We had a bunch of people in Sweden and a bunch of people elsewhere. So it took quite a while to do that one. And then we sent it off to James Murphy for mastering, which took quite a while as well.
There he is.
So it was
Florida. That's a big fucking clue.
So it was it took quite some time to get that album done. Just because of the sheer amount of people that was involved in it and stuff like that. Compared to the Tales of Madness, which was done fairly quickly. I mean, because that one, we recorded the guitars and we sent them to Thomas Skogsberg in Sunlight Studio to reamp them. Yeah. And he reamped them and sent them back, and then Håkan mixed that album. And it turned out really cool. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to hear all the old songs, kind of compare them to the originals from on the demos and stuff like that, compared to the versions that are on that one.
Yeah, because I was looking at it, I was like, "Oh, there's such a nice cover," and then I'm touching the logo and it sticks out. You can just touch it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
Transcending did an amazing job on the layout and everything on that one, and it's actually the album artwork is made by the same guy that did the album artwork on Internal Caustic Torment, which is obviously the old album.
All right, let's
from
put them
93. So yeah, it's
obviously
it's a guy called SV Bell, and he does really, really cool stuff. He has done Tales from a Thousand Lakes with Amorphis, for example. Yeah, he done Gods of War with Blasphemy and stuff like that. So
you've got the demo stuff on it because it's a re-release.
Oh yeah, that's the pulverized re-release. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the very first album, which I was going to show anyway, even though you're not on it.
It's a good album, that one.
Great album.
It's a classic.
Obviously, who we mentioned earlier is on this one.
Yeah, okay.
They're all bloody teenagers when they done this.
Yeah, hence the crappy band name.
It's like Wombbath. Let's do it.
Yeah.
It's like there's no point bloody changing it now, is there? Because
no.
When I saw the name and I saw the band, it was a YouTube video of them playing like 90 sometime after the album came out or before.
Yeah, there's 2 YouTube, one from 92.
It might have been that one.
Yeah, one from 93, I think.
Because because one of the members, one of them was wearing a long sleeve Napalm Death shirt.
Yeah, it's probably the one where they did the cover of
Suffer the Children.
Suffer the Children.
Yeah, that's probably 92 then.
Yeah.
Because they did play one song on that set, and it was As Silent as the Grave.
Yeah.
It says Silent as the Grave. Or
yeah. Swedish people trying to do English stuff.
Yes. Well, I know it's as. I was reading, I was like, I swear it's As Silent as the Grave.
Yeah.
Which is the song that drew me into them. It was that song, how it just like start off with a and whoa.
Yeah, that's a good one. The lyrics on that one
is, and the laughing as well,
amazing. Yeah,
and because there was the song that you guys played at Scandinavia Death Fest on here was Corporal Punishment.
Yeah, that's a good song. It's a fun song to play live as well.
Yeah, I was just like, he was like, this is you, because you obviously spoke in Swedish and then you spoke in English. I was like, okay, I'm going to try. I can't translate this, but it's cool to hear Swedish. And it's like, it's from this one. And he's like, Corporal Punishment. I was like, yeah, because I was at the front because John spotted me from his drum kit. Yeah, because that's what I loved about being at Scandinavia Death Fest. It was Swedish bands in front of a hometown crowd.
It was a good festival. It was a really good festival.
I love that to go again because I absolutely enjoyed it.
Hopefully, with COVID and everything dialing down. Well, we don't know yet, but if it dials down, hopefully we'll get some more shows like that.
Yeah, let's just hope that we can see more Wombbath. Hopefully see Henry Kane perform.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed we'll see Henry Kane, and I'll most likely be at the barrier or be in the pit for a bit, or be like, nope, I'm going to stay in the barrier. I want to play that bass. But obviously you're going to be doing vocals and bass. It's like, how is he going to manage? Because you've done it with Ash Cloud as well on that show.
Yeah.
Bass and vocals.
It's easy with Henry Kane because it's just 3-chord. It's pretty much just 3-chord punk songs. And just played really, 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 really fast.
It's just really fast, crusty death metal.
Yeah.
Which is what you want from a band with a name named Henry Kane. Or any band, any crusty death metal band. And also, because we said Body Harvest, you got a band called Human Harvest with our mate Millie.
Yeah.
Madam Peril of BTK, Basement Torture Killings.
Yeah.
Has that done anything lately?
No. That was just a brief thing that we were recording some demo stuff and all that, and then we decided to use the name Human Harvest. And it's just a band name that I've had for ages, and I've recorded a bunch of like grind demos with back in 2005, 2007 and 2009 released demos with. It never really amounted to anything. So it's probably a name I'm going to use for something completely different in the future, but I'll hold on to it for now.
Hold on to it for now and see where it goes.
Exactly.
See if get Millie back in it or not. If not, then some new members.
Yeah.
Hello. I just say, I'm always available.
Yeah. No, we've had some time.
You focus on the bands you got at the moment.
Yeah.
Got focus on Massacre, Wombbath, Henry Kane, Heads for the Dead.
Me and Rogga will probably do something with it.
Something with it, see what comes up. And I'm like, well, again, as a fellow musician myself, you need help, you know where to find me.
Definitely.
You know where to find me if you ever need an extra pair of hands. Not recording wise, I'm sharing that. Well, okay, I just like record, stop, get rid of that. Oh, I just cut out a good guitar part. Shit. No. I'll just record it or fuck off. I'll just call my instrument bits. I'll go home. Bye. So, speaking of all these bands, which I don't know how you manage them, I really don't know. Seriously, how?
I guess I never leave it fat. I just stay home and do music all the
You
time.
just do music.
Yeah.
Which
That's
is
the good thing about hating people. You don't have to be outdoors and interact with others. You can just stay home and make music instead.
yeah, just stay home and make music because you seem to have ideas spinning around in your head
Oh yeah,
all the bloody time.
I'll go to bed with a riff in my head and I'll wake up with a riff in my head. So it's non-stop.
Yeah, I got riffs spinning around my head and it's like, oh, that might sound good. And then I'm like, oh shit, I can't play a certain part of that riff. But I can play the other parts. That's fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, riffs spinning your head. And speaking of the bands again, merch. Where can we find all of the bands I've just shown in this video?
Most of them you can find on Transcending Obscurities pages. We've got a couple of really cool vinyls with Wombbath at the moment. So if you just drop a message on the Wombbath Facebook page, we can get that sorted. That Håkan's got the whole stock of that one, so he'll set anyone up with. They're really cool splattered ones.
Yeah, I got Bolt Thrower's very first album on a splatter vinyl.
Yeah, it's nice.
In Battle There Is No Law.
Yeah, very good album.
Very good album. Obviously, we can find Heads for the Dead, Henry Kane, and that on Transcending as well.
Yeah, exactly. Just check out most of the bands got a Bandcamp that is run by the label, so you can order all the stuff from the Bandcamp straight off there. And then you got all the special editions with the new Heads for the Dead album. You've got wooden boxes for there's a cassette release with a wooden box that's shaped like a coffin.
Yeah, I see.
And then you've got the vinyl, which is just a big wooden box with the vinyl and stuff in, and then you get loads of other stuff like stickers and coasters and keychains and whatnot, fridge magnets and posters, all sort of stuff. So yeah, it's worth having a look. And then obviously you can get just like the CD and stuff like that. And then we've got with Heads for the Dead as well, we've got a couple of t-shirts and stuff like that we printed ourselves within the band. And those ones just gotta drop a message on our Facebook page and we'll get that sorted.
Yeah, so if people are looking for merch, all those places will be linked in the description below, so people will be like, where do we buy it again? Oh crap. I forgot to link it.
Yeah,
because I always put here are the links to the band's Facebook, Instagram, fucking Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Use and Bandcamp stores.
That's perfect.
The Cartel, whatever.
Yeah, we've got Bandcamp for most things these days. It works really well.
Yeah, most things you'll have, not everything, but we won't have everything yet because you might be releasing new stuff. And because obviously with some of these bands you supported a bunch of big bands and other bands. What have been some of your favorites?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah, I keep putting people on the spot for this. I don't know why. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've never really put much thought into it, but
you were to pick one.
I mean, it's ironic that I should pick them because now I'm playing with them. But last year, just before the pandemic, we did a tour with Massacre. Nice. It was us and Trails. I played with God's Forsaken, and then it was Massacre and then Trails, and that was a really, really good tour. And I mean, that was mainly due to the fact that I got to hang out with Cam after years and years of just having online contact. And then we had a whole tour where we could like hang out and talk about horror movies and stuff like that, which was really cool.
Which is what you want with a man like that, because he loves
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
absolutely loves
big horror nerd as well. So it's
Will from Mortician. He's a horror nerd.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be cool to play with Mortician and talk horror films with him.
I was about to ask you, any bands you would like to play with, so Mortician.
Yeah, exactly.
Great, definitely. Any of the bands really you're in. Well, Henry Kane and Mortician, that might go well.
Yeah, that would go well. Or with Heads for the Dead.
Heads for the Dead as well.
I mean, we're very, very horror inspired.
That might be.
Yeah, everything we do with Heads for the Dead is horror, based off horror and
horror related death metal.
Yeah, exactly. It's
so,
more.
Yeah, Heads for the Dead and Mortician.
Yeah,
I'd pay to see that.
That would be an excellent, and then we can bring Killjoy back to life, and then we can add
Killjoy and that legend we've lost as well. Why do all these legends have to die?
I know.
Fucked up, isn't it? When I heard Killjoy passing, I was like, "Oh no, really? Damn it!"
Yeah.
Oh shit!
It really sucks, but yeah, we've been very inspired by him on the Into the Red album, so that one is dedicated to him.
Yeah, and that's the main thing about this music, I think, as well.
Yeah,
I mean, making it, playing it live, just playing it in general, and making an album dedicated to the song we've lost, and you're dedicating it to Killjoy, which. So if he's lingering somewhere, he's probably thinking, yeah, motherfuckers.
Those horror nerds.
It's like we need some fucking horror nerds.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what's great about metalheads. We love our metal, but we also love our horror.
Yeah, can't go wrong with a bit of horror.
You can't go wrong with horror, because horror is amazing, because you can write music from horror, be it metal, fucking folk music, fucking horror related music, like Slasher Dave. He does a lot of horror themed, like synth docs, like synth music, like
you got
horror soundtrack music.
Yeah, you got that whole genre with the like John Carpenter and stuff like that.
John Carpenter stuff.
Yeah,
John Carpenter as well. He does his own music.
Very cool stuff.
So, well, before we end this chat, obviously we've got Massacre's new album going to be dropping hopefully this year at some point.
Yeah, later this year.
Heads for the Dead.
Yeah.
Album. Wombbath as well.
New Wombbath, yeah.
Any more on Nattravnen? Anything else?
Both me and Cam has been so busy with all of the Massacre stuff that we've kind of put Nattravnen on the spot on the side for now. But I mean, I think this year we're probably gonna finish the album, and we've got all the songs written. So the things that are left is to record the vocals and do a proper mix and just get the album out there. So
I'm his album's out and getting it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be released this year, but we're probably going to finish the album this year, and it's going to be released next year.
Even next year.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
blast that like crazy, over and over and over again.
And then I've got another project called Worm Wheel, which
Wheel.
Yeah, like or Veil. Worm Veil.
Oh, Worm Veil. Wheel.
And that one comes out any week now. Actually, I think it's a couple of weeks away. So that one is a nice one as well.
Do you ever slow down?
No. No.
You don't slow down.
If I slow down, I have to wrestle with my own thoughts. That's a
like
thing.
Fuck you, thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm like that as well. It's like I need to write this death metal album, but now I got some folk music to write. Damn it, come on. And listening to new bands like Frozen Soul, for example, because they dropped a new album this year.
I've never heard them.
It's very Bolt Thrower inspired.
Oh.
If you listen to it, the guitar tones, the drums, the vocals, the vocalist
Yeah,
got very similar vocals to Cole.
very nice. New Memoriam is coming out, or has come out as well.
Which one's that?
The Memoriam album.
Oh, Memoriam, yeah, that's out.
Yeah.
It's out this month.
Yeah, exactly.
We ordered the CD and the vinyl.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good album.
Because I've got all of the other albums they released, which they seem to be releasing one after the other. Like, this one, year later, the other one's out. Year later, the other one's out.
Which is good. I like bands that are active like that.
So, someone like, oh, we released this album, wait 3 years, and there's another one.
Yeah, exactly.
I think me, it'd be like, that one's out, that one's out, that one's out. Shit can get out. Problems here. Now it's out.
Push them all out.
Just push them out.
Yeah, exactly.
And on that note, thank you for taking part in Jake's Metal Chat.
Thank you.
And you're always welcome to come back. We should have said that to Cameron when we did our chat. He's always welcome to come back. He can barge in if he wants. I'll just send him the link. He just barge in. He's like, what are you doing here? He's like, come. Oh, yeah. Never mind.
Sounds good, mate.
So, yeah. So be sure to check out all of his bands because, and this is, I'm not saying this because I'm his mate. I'm saying this because I'm a fan of metal, death metal. They're excellent. If you love raw, heavy stuff, and you're welcome. If you love your crusty stuff, Henry Kane. If you love your horror stuff, Heads for the Dead. You love just a lot of all of it. If you love just death metal in general, all of it. And when gigs happen again and you see Jonny there in any of the bands, just be sure to chat to him. He's a cool guy.
Grab a pint and talk about some music. Or horror.
Music or horror.
Yeah.
Or both.
Or both.
You can talk both like, oh yeah, I'm doing this band and it's got the theme of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh.
Nice. Very nice.
Something like, for example, this was about The Thing. Oh. So just like, just had an orgasm.
we'll be there all night talking about
all night. It's like, we're supposed to watch bands. There's no bands tonight. It's just chill out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Frozen Souls tomorrow. Creeping Death. Just mentioned 2 Texas bands. So there you go. But yeah, once again, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Come back again and hope to meet again. Have a pint.
Sounds good, mate.
You can see where it goes from there. He's been Jonny of Wombbath, Heads for the Dead, Henry King, Nattravnen, Massacre. Fucking hell, how many more bands are you in? Syndrome, Ash Cloud, and just countless other bands. I've been Jake, the host of Jake's Metal Chat. Be sure to like this video, share it around, subscribe to my channel, because it will help this channel out so I don't go completely insane and run around like a madman waking my neighbors up. So,
that's excellent.
So, please keep supporting metal. And if you're a musician, work on that music, bring it out so people can hear it. And we are out.